Let's go a step further with Xpand and see what we can do to customize some sounds. Um, I've gone ahead and set my session tempo to 140 because we're going to do something in halftime or a halftime feel and a double time tempo. And that is just super classic in modern hip hop or trap or whatever you want to call it. I went ahead and put in an 808 pattern. So I have G, F, and E. You can see where they line up on the 16th notes. Okay, that's our dirty 808 that we just made. And I'm going to go ahead. I've decided to do it. So let's go ahead and put in a drum set. So let's go to Expand, Instrument, Expand. These are all mono, by the way. And I'm going to go ahead and put in the first one, Urban Beat. And if I bring up my MIDI editor, and go up to C1, I have my kick drum. Now, I don't like that kick drum. And there is some customizing you can do, before you separate your drums. And one of the ways to do that is you have your parts, right? Your kick selector, your snare selector, hats, toms, cymbals, etc. And at least even with these presets, if you click on part A's smart knobs, you actually have the ability to kind of cycle through the menus based on these assignments of the keys. So for example, C1 is set to this kick drum right now, which is 65% essentially. It's not the best interface, to be honest. But if I change this, it actually is cycling through that menu, and I can find one that I like. And then you can actually tune that. If I tune it up to 75, let's see if that is kind of a C range. Okay, or down. I want to be careful with tuning though because of the 808. Cutoff is essentially the high frequencies. So if you do want to get rid of some of that attack, bring the cutoff down, and then decay is the length of the drum hit. All right, so I've already kind of almost tweaked this to be a little bit of an 808 style. Okay, but this is a lot easier if you had a keyboard in front of you where you can actually just hit C1 and cycle through this. I find it very difficult to go back and forth. So what I'm going to do instead is actually just put in my drum beat and kind of work back from there. So so here's kind of the rule of thumb. Horrible. In my opinion, with trap music or trap-based hip-hop or trap hip-hop that is done this way, is your snare drums, and I'm going to put that on E1. Your snare drums go on beat 3 of each measure. So it takes you 2 measures to get through what would normally feel like one measure drum beat, which is why it is a halftime feel. At 140, if you put your if you put your snare drums on beat 2 and 4, which is kind of like more traditional drumming, you have a very fast drum beat, and that is not what we are aiming for here. So I'm going to go back to beat 3 of each measure, and even that you'll get a sense. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and put in the kick drum on beat 1 of measure, or beat 1, the third 16th note of beat 2, I think, and let's see what else. Doom, doom, doom. I actually want this to match the I'll show you how to do that because I'm not sure this is right. It doesn't look right to me. That's okay. Yeah, okay, right there. Which is going to line up with these 808s. And then I'll put in a hi-hat pattern. 1, 2. Skip that one for now. All right, so eighth notes, eighth notes, eighth notes, eighth notes, 16ths, and over here I'm going to draw in 30 seconds. So 2 ways to do that. You can just change your grid to 30 seconds, and if you change, and you can just draw them, 1, 2, 3, 4. Or if you change your pencil tool, click and hold, and change it to the line tool, you can literally draw in your notes. Okay. And that's our drum beat. But I want to go back in and customize these sounds because I don't like them very much. Anyways, so let's listen. And I'm going to, again, just focus on, I'm going to change the snare drum right now because I really don't like it. I could do D, but I chose to the E key. So I am on E1. What is that weird note above it? Don't like that. All right, well, you can find what you like. Yeah, tune that up. I can dig that. And hi-hats, do I like those hi-hats? And basically the same thing, so it can go into and choose the hi-hats. Okay, so I have changed my drum preset essentially, and yeah, there you go. We have a little trap beat. All right, save this, export a 2-measure loop, be done with it.